The story begins in the year 1898 in the Montana region. At this time, Cole Brick was no longer the infamous gunman he once was. Thanks to his wife Diana, he gave up that past and dedicated his life to his family. Currently, he owns a small farm and manages a general store, and they have a 12-year-old daughter named Brooke. One morning, Diana asks Cole to take their daughter to school. He initially appears hesitant, believing that taking children to school is not a man's job. But Diana remains firm, thinking it will help the father and daughter spend more time together. With no other choice, Cole reluctantly agrees. On the way, Brooke begs her father to stop for a little while so she can ride her horse. But Cole refuses, saying he does not have time for miscellaneous things like that. When they arrive at the school, they find the class canceled because the teacher is sick. He intends to let Brooke walk home by herself, but the little girl reminds him that her mother forbids it, so he has to take his daughter with him to the store. While the father and daughter are working, a customer named Jeffrey appears. He is famous for being a talker. Cole tries to be polite and asks what Jeffrey needs. After some small talk, Jeffrey says he wants to buy a bag of flour, so Cole climbs the ladder to retrieve the product. Right at that moment, Jeffrey cannot resist the temptation and secretly takes a few pieces of candy, putting them in his pocket, completely unaware that Brooke has seen everything. When he realizes he was caught, Jeffrey quickly returns the candy and begs Brooke to keep his secret. He then leaves the store in shame immediately after. Not long after, Brooke tells her father about what she saw, also mentioning the dirt mark Jeffrey's hand left as proof. While Cole and Brooke are still at the store, the peace at the ranch is shattered. Diana is surprised by the appearance of 4 strange men led by James. He acts polite, saying his group is lost and needs directions to the nearest town. Though suspicious, Diana points them in the right direction, but she quickly realizes their intentions are not good at all. As the group approaches, Diana immediately attacks the nearest men and runs quickly into the nearby barn to find cover. They immediately chase closely behind her. One man in the group named Tiz seems worried, saying they should retreat before the area sheriff shows up, but the man named Bus reassures him and says it is not time to leave yet. Suddenly, Diana rides a horse out very fast to escape, but when she only gets a short distance, James immediately shoots the horse, causing it to collapse, and Diana falls. They immediately capture her. While searching, James sees the saddle engraved with the name Cole Brick, so he asks Diana if she is the wife of that man. When Diana confirms this, all of them understand that they have messed with an extremely dangerous person. But James does not show any fear at all. On the contrary, he affirms with a firm voice that he has an old debt to settle with Cole. When Cole and Brooke return home, they find the farm full of strangers. Sheriff Jared steps forward, surprised to learn the infamous gunman from back then now has a family. Without beating around the bush, he quickly delivers the bad news. Diana died at the hands of that group of men. In utter pain, Cole personally digs his wife's grave and buries her, refusing any help from the sheriff's men. Meanwhile, Jared tries to comfort Brooke. He says he once knew Cole and describes him as the most cold-blooded and ruthless gunman who ever lived. But he adds that Diana was the one who changed him into a better man. In silence, Brooke says she has never seen her father hold a gun and wonders if her father will still be a good person without her mother by his side. Hearing this, Jared just stays silent, unable to give an answer. When Cole is sadly completing the final stages of his wife's burial, Sheriff Jared approaches and says those men left a message in the barn, advising Cole not to let Brooke see that scene. Immediately after, Cole asks for the names of the men who did this and where they are going. But Jared refuses to answer, only saying that this world will be safer if the old Cole Brick does not return. He says to look at Cole's little daughter. She has lost her mother, and now she needs her father by her side. He says he will find those bastards and make them pay instead of Cole. When everyone has left, Cole walks into the barn alone. There he sees Diana's bloody handprint pressed onto the saddle. Following the trail, he discovers something even more horrifying. There are words written on the wall in blood that say, "I still owe you." That night, amidst a chaos of emotions, Cole silently opens an old chest and takes out his old pistol. He sits deep in thought for a long time, and while his mind is troubled, he even aims the gun towards his sleeping daughter. Right at that moment, Brooke suddenly wakes up and says that mother would not like father pointing a gun at her like that. Hearing this, Cole immediately lowers the gun, and the little girl falls back asleep. A little later, he wakes Brooke up and tells her to get ready to leave here. Before leaving, Cole sets the house and the entire barn on fire, leaving his entire past behind him. The next morning, while the father and daughter are riding horses on the road, Brooke asks why her father destroyed the house and the farm. Cole answers firmly that they cannot go back there again. But he promises that when everything is over, he will build a new life for both of them and replace everything that was lost in that fire. After that, during a rest stop, Cole explains their strict schedule from now on to his daughter. They will only sleep for 30 minutes, then eat, and then continue their journey, repeating this every 4 hours until they catch the enemy. Brooke protests, saying that doing that will make them fall behind the enemy, but Cole answers flatly that there is no use chasing them if they are both exhausted. At the same time, in another place, Sheriff Jared is still on the way to track down the other group of men. He remembers Brooke's attitude last night and remarks that the little girl showed absolutely no emotion, even though she just lost her mother. The assistant named Mar suggests that the girl might still be in shock or does not truly understand what happened. Right then, from the hillside above, James and his gang have set up an ambush and start shooting at the group of police. They do this because they think Cole is with the group, but when they realize they are mistaken, they quickly retreat temporarily. At the same time, Cole wakes Brooke up because he heard the sound of gunshots echoing from the canyon about 10 minutes ago. The little girl asks why her father did not wake her up sooner, but Cole answers calmly that there is no need to rush, because sooner or later, they will find out what happened. At the criminals' camp, James is furious and punches Bus right in the face for shooting too early. James's original plan was to kill the sheriff first, but because of that rashness, the opponent had a chance to fight back. After that, Cole spots a rider approaching, so he gets ready to act. His goal is to kill the man and steal his horse. Brooke panics and stops her father, reminding him that it might only be a police officer and that mother would never like him to do that. Hearing this, Cole stops and hesitates. After a few seconds of deep thought, he decides to change his plan. He tells his daughter to pretend to cry to distract the rider. Brooke says anxiously that she does not know how to cry, but Cole says coldly that if she wants to survive in this world, she has to learn it. He says people want her to smile when she hears a joke and cry at a funeral. Cole tells her that is how she will be like them and how she will fit in. The little girl tries, and finally she imitates a very fake cry. The rider who is approaching turns out to be Mar, the sheriff's injured assistant. Cole immediately steps forward, points his gun to subdue him, and then the father and daughter work together to bring him to meet Sheriff Jared, along with Greg, another man in the police group who is also injured. At that time, Brooke holds the gun in her hand, imitating her father's posture, and orders Greg to surrender his weapon. Greg refuses, pointing his gun back at the little girl and threatening Cole. He says he will blow the little girl's brains out right now. Just as he is speaking loudly, Brooke suddenly steps hard on Greg's injured foot, causing him pain and forcing him to drop his weapon. Without hesitation, she picks up the gun immediately. After tying up all three men, the father and daughter, Cole, start a campfire to rest. At this time, Sheriff Jared turns to face Cole. He says he understands the pain Cole is going through, but he threatens Cole that assaulting a federal sheriff is a very serious crime. Cole retorts, reminding him that he did this only because Jared hid the names of the men responsible for Diana's death. The sheriff maintains a calm but firm voice, saying that if anything happens to his subordinates, he will hunt Cole down until he sees him hanged. That sentence adds fuel to the fire. Cole decides to increase the pressure on Mar, nearly torturing him to force Jared to give up the information. Finally, the sheriff gives in and provides the information. The leader of the attack is James, along with 3 other accomplices. They are all infamous criminals. There is a rumor that James promised his accomplices that if they helped him escape from Power County Jail, he would share a large part of the treasure hidden in a secret safe with them. Currently, James's group is heading toward the state of Colorado, going toward the town of Santa Rosa, where he has a Mexican girl. After getting the necessary information, Cole also takes this opportunity to teach Brooke a practical lesson. In front of her, he treats Mar's bullet wound, removes the bullet, and then heats a red-hot iron to sterilize the wound and stop the bleeding. After that, the father and daughter prepare to leave. Cole rides the horse he just took from the police, while Brooke rides her mother's old horse. The little girl accidentally sees her mother's fingerprints on the saddle. Although very sad, the little girl maintains her cold demeanor. She tells Jared that he is not a thief, so he will return the horses by tying them up far away in Santa Rosa. As for James, he keeps his promise and leads his accomplices to the spot where the safe is buried. When they open it, they find it full of Mexican money. Clearly, it cannot be used on American soil. Feeling tricked, the subordinates are angry, but James casually pulls out his gun and says that if he really planned to trick them, they would all be dead by now. Then James demands that all of them must follow him, and he will make that money enough for all of them to live lavishly forever. Bus takes the opportunity to ask him about Cole Brick, but James answers coldly that they do not need to look for him because Brick will come to them. With a cold smile, he shows that everything is according to plan. When they arrive in Santa Rosa, James's gang quickly hides in the town. After that, he assigns each person to take turns on guard duty every 4 hours. That night, while Cole and Brooke are resting, the little girl asks her father if he truly changed after meeting her mother. Cole honestly says that before, he was a cold, brave person without any emotion. He says that even when his mother died, he did not shed a single tear. But everything changed when he met Diana for the first time in his life. He felt afraid of losing her and afraid of not being loved. That was also the first time he truly loved someone. Brooke listens quietly and then confesses. When her mother died, the little girl did not feel anything either, just an emptiness inside. Cole gently comforts his daughter, saying that a part of him also died with Diana and that the pain will never disappear. When the little girl asks who James is, Cole admits that he does not know that person at all. Immediately after, Brooke asks her father to teach her how to shoot, and he agrees. The next morning, she begins practicing with the rifle, but does not hit anything. On the outskirts of the town of Santa Rosa, Cole observes from above and knows that there is only one road leading into the town. He knows that James and his accomplices are stationed there and watching, and if he goes in, surely one of his subordinates will recognize him. Noticing the danger, Brooke suggests going into town instead of her father because no one knows who the little girl is. Cole thinks for a moment and then agrees, instructing his daughter on how to do it safely. Riding her horse into Santa Rosa, Brooke walks alone through the crowded town, passing by the man named Bus, who is sitting guard at the gate. When she arrives, she enters a general store, buying a few small items as if she is just a normal girl shopping for her parents. However, while pretending to chat intimately with the store owner, she cleverly asks if any group of riders has passed through recently. But as soon as she steps out the door, Brooke freezes when she sees James and his entire gang waiting. Their cold eyes make the atmosphere tense. It turns out they discovered the saddle engraved with the name Cole that Brooke rode into town. After that, the little girl is led to a table sitting across from James. He places a plate of meat in front of her and politely invites her to eat, but Brooke firmly refuses, her eyes full of challenge. Seeing this, James sneers, saying that the daughter of the super killer is also not to be messed with. Then he orders Bus and Tiz to prepare an ambush for Cole because he will surely come soon to rescue his daughter. Amidst that tense atmosphere, James naturally begins to talk about his own past, a part of the story he seems to have kept hidden for many years. He says that 20 years ago, his father was executed just for stealing food for his family. His father's younger brother tried to save him, but the plan failed, and everything ended with a gunshot, and the father was shot dead by Cole Brick right in front of James. He was only a child at that time. From that moment, the fire of hatred ignited in him, a hatred that never cooled. While chatting with Brooke, James secretly tricks his accomplices. He takes all the money and puts it in his pocket, filling the safe with old newspapers. Outside, one of the gunman guards named Mike recognizes Cole approaching and immediately hides in a building to ambush him. But the experienced Cole is one step ahead of him. He quickly captures Mike and deals with him quickly. After that, he confronts Bus and also finishes him off. But unfortunately, Cole is shot in the arm from a distance. Meanwhile, James ties Brooke up to use her as a hostage. Tiz runs back frantically to report that he injured Cole, so James orders 2 other men to go and finish him off. But Cole quickly takes down both of them before stepping out to face James. In the bright sunlight, the 2 men stand opposite each other, 2 symbols of the past, of sin and of destiny. James sarcastically asks if Cole remembers him. He answers calmly, no. The answer is like a deep cut into James's heart. James says that Cole will remember him today because this is his last day. James gives Cole 2 choices. If Cole shoots James, he will immediately kill Brooke. And if Cole shoots to save Brooke, James will also shoot him dead. Without any hesitation, Cole chooses to save his daughter. He draws his gun and shoots Tiz down. Immediately, James also fires his gun. The bullet lodges directly into Cole's chest. James laughs arrogantly because he has killed his enemy, but he does not expect Brooke to pick up her father's gun and fire twice. The first bullet hits James in the chest, and the second bullet goes straight through James's head, ending everything. Cole, in his last breath, takes out a small locket watch with Diana's picture from his pocket and places it in his daughter's hand. He whispers that mother will always be by her side and let her know what she needs to do. After saying this, he breathes his last, and Brooke bursts into tears, embracing her father's cooling body. Not long after, Sheriff Jared and his subordinates arrive, collecting the bodies and the fake safe. They believe they have recovered the treasure, completely unaware that the real money is still hidden by Brooke. Jared is moved by the little girl's pain and decides to let the world believe that Cole died like a hero, taken down by the gang in the final shootout. When everything is over, Brooke asks the woman in the saloon to help her retrieve the bag of money that James once hid. What do you think about this film? Please leave a comment below and let us know. Thank you for watching.